In the last video, I showed you the Fiedler value, a single number that reveals whether a market has healthy cluster structure or is approaching a fragile, fully connected state. But I did not invent that framework for finance. It comes from cancer biology, and the original problem is far more urgent than portfolio management. The problem is this: you give a patient a drug, the tumor shrinks, scans look clean, everyone celebrates. 6 months later, the cancer is back, and now the drug does not work. This is treatment resistance, and it kills more cancer patients than the original tumor ever did. For decades, oncologists treated resistance as bad luck, a random mutation, an unpredictable event. But computational cancer biologists now know that resistance is not random. It is structural, and it is detectable before it happens. Here is how. A tumor is not one cell. It is a population of thousands of genetically distinct subclones. Each subclone is a node. If two subclones share signaling pathways, share metabolic dependencies, or respond to the same growth factors, they are connected. The tumor is a network. Now apply the same mathematics from the market geometry framework. Build the Laplacian matrix of the tumor network. Compute the Fiedler value. And you see something remarkable. A tumor with high heterogeneity has strong cluster structure. Multiple distinct subpopulations, each with different vulnerabilities. The Fiedler value is low. This tumor has structural diversity. And paradoxically, this is the tumor that responds well to combination therapy, because you can attack multiple clusters simultaneously. Each drug targets a different subpopulation. The system cannot escape because every escape route is blocked. But here is where it gets dangerous. When you apply a single drug to a heterogeneous tumor, you kill the sensitive subclones. The resistant subclones survive. They were already there before treatment began. The drug selected for them. Now the tumor network changes. The diverse cluster structure collapses. What was a heterogeneous population with low connectivity becomes a homogeneous population with high connectivity. Every remaining cell looks the same. Every remaining cell is resistant. The Fiedler value climbs. The cluster structure dissolves. The tumor has entered the same geometric state as a market in panic. Full connectivity. No diversity. No resilience to the next stress. This is why the drug stops working. Not because of one mutation, because the geometry of the tumor changed. The structural diversity that made the tumor vulnerable to therapy has been eliminated by the therapy itself. Now here is the bridge back to markets. Think about what happens when a popular investment strategy becomes dominant. Momentum investing works when only some investors use it. Different strategies create cluster structure in the market. Value investors in one cluster, momentum traders in another, fundamental analysts in a third. This diversity is what makes markets functional. Each cluster responds to different signals. The Fiedler value stays low. The system is stable. But when one strategy dominates, the same collapse happens. Everyone uses momentum. Everyone buys the same assets. Everyone sells at the same signals. The cluster structure dissolves. Correlations spike to 1. The Fiedler value climbs. The market has become a monoculture. And just like a monoculture tumor that is uniformly resistant to therapy, a monoculture market is uniformly vulnerable to a single shock. The crash that follows is not caused by the shock itself. It is caused by the absence of structural diversity that would have absorbed the shock. This is the bioflywheel insight. The same mathematics governs both systems. Tumors and markets are both populations of competing agents. Both evolve under selective pressure. Both lose resilience when diversity collapses. And in both systems, the Fiedler value is the early warning. Rising connectivity in a tumor network signals that treatment resistance is consolidating. Rising connectivity in a market network signals that systemic fragility is building. The geometry tells you what the surface measurements cannot. A tumor that is shrinking on a scan may be structurally consolidating into resistance. A market that is rising on a price chart may be structurally consolidating into fragility. The surface looks healthy. The geometry says otherwise. So, what do you do with this knowledge? In cancer biology, the answer is adaptive therapy. Instead of hitting the tumor with maximum dose until the cancer is gone, you modulate the dose. You keep some sensitive cells alive on purpose. Those sensitive cells compete with the resistant cells for resources. They suppress the resistant population through ecological competition. You manage the tumor's geometry rather than trying to eliminate it. You maintain diversity. You keep the Fiedler value low. In investing, the same principle applies. Do not concentrate into the strategy that is working best right now. Maintain structural diversity across uncorrelated approaches and asset classes. Keep your portfolio's cluster structure intact even when one cluster is outperforming. Because the moment you eliminate diversity to chase performance, you have done the same thing as a single-agent chemotherapy. You have selected for fragility. This is the core of the bioflywheel methodology. Biology and markets obey the same mathematics of adaptive systems. Diversity is not a hedge. It is the architecture of survival. If you want to apply this framework to your own portfolio, download the Market Geometry Workbook using the link below. It includes fillable worksheets, an Excel companion with 185 working formulas, and a Python script that computes the Fiedler value from real market data. And if you are new to this channel, go back and watch the full Market Geometry series from the beginning. Video 1. Why therapies fail. Video 2. The math of market crashes. Video 3. The Fiedler value. Each one builds on the last. Subscribe so you do not miss the next video, where we go deeper into the mathematics of adaptive therapy and what it teaches us about portfolio rebalancing. This is advanced mathematics for everyone.